Alright, that should be the right one. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna kick this off here just in a second. I had it set as public, unlisted. Needed to get it situated the right way. Let me turn down the music. All right. What is up, traders? Welcome to the channel. Let's get this going. It's kind of a clickbaity little bit of a thumbnail there, but I'm going to show you why right now. 13,891.71. That was the originating price of the term Heath line. Jordan Lindsay essentially brought it up one day when we were watching Bitcoin all the way back over here. After it made that all-time high, it then put in a lower high after the massive drop down to 3K. So we got a nice bit of Bitcoin bullish price action coming off of those lows, and we set in a lower high at 13,891.71. All right, since that price, we broke out of it. If you even go down on a small time frame such as a daily, you can see you had one day of a retest of that level. So let me bring you up to the real reason of why we are looking at this thing. I don't care about on-chain metrics. I don't care about whales selling their positions. I don't care about any of that stuff. All I care about is price, and I'm going to show you why. Last time on the BLX index, you can simply see that you had this bearish candle right here. These are yearly candles, mind you. This is to show you that the strategy works all across the board, no matter what time frame you're looking at, as price is fractal. It does the same things from yearlies to monthlies to weeklies, dailies, all the way down to 5-minute charts. Look at this push lower here before you expand it to the upside. Came in, tested your last resistance level, which was that bullish close right there, January the 1st, 2013. You put in a bearish candle. Once you got this breakout here, you opened, came in, retested that, boom, shakalaka to the upside. Bitcoin ran and ran. Here is your bearish market for that year. Look what happened. This is that Heath level, that 13,891.71. So you can see on this year, you pushed right up to the opening price of that bearish candle right there, and you retreated away. This was also due to the March price action that we had in 2020 because of all the negative stuff coming out with the untold virus from unknown regions. Right? Then here we are, big, beautiful breakout on Bitcoin. Straight up. Nice close, don't you think? Closed at the highs for that year. Then 2021 opened, you had another push up into the $60,000 area, and you are having a slight pullback. This is why you can be absolutely bullish on Bitcoin even if prices dip all the way back down to $13,891. That seems like a terrible, terrible thing to say, especially if you bought at 50K. Yeah, you're going to have to sit in it and ride it out to see what happens. A lot of bigger YouTubers are calling a bear market on Bitcoin. Not Jordan or not CTM, not me, but a lot of other ones are. You're still green on the year. I think that once you trigger your yearly open and your yearly low, I think you're going to see a bounce from there. You may see a bounce from here, but we're going to keep our eyes on it. But what I know, I will buy at the yearly low. 2021's low, I will be a buyer there, and I will also buy with every inch that I can at 13,891.71 on the BLX index, as that could be your bear market low right there. And that would continue the bullish trend that Bitcoin has had its entire life. This is the entire life of Bitcoin's price action. You can see that it has always been bullish, minus a couple red years, right? 2 to be exact. So will this be a third red year? I have no clue. Let's go take a look at the dailies. Let's go get off of this chart, get on the Bitcoin chart. Let's see what we're going to be working with here. Let's go over here to this one. I don't know why my reset button is not popping up. What is going on? So let's do this. All right, so you can clearly see that there is not nearly enough. Here, let me try this. Let's do something different. Let's use this one. There we go. Fantastic. Here we are. All right, here is your dailies on Bitcoin. This is, I have no idea. This is not it. This is that other chart. Give me a second, guys. Give me 1 second. I will be with you directly. Here we go. Your yearly open. This is on Coinbase's data feed. Yearly open price is going to be 28,990.08. That's this level here. And then your yearly low is 27,678.00. That's this bearish wick right there. That set the low for the year 2021. As of now, that is still untested. You can see that we've tried to get down there, but have failed to do so. Now, this was a nice bounce that we got out of this yearly opening range, but you can see any bullish push up in price has been sold into, which has got us to the price action of which we are at right now. So you can see here, let me get up so that way you can see what I'm talking about. This was your last daily and lowest daily close. Here yesterday we got our breach and our close below. If you go to the weekly chart, if you've been watching the stream at all from this week, I said basically once we took out this weekly close with last week's weekly close, it would not be good. And there was a chance that we would be coming in here to test this weekly close right there, because that's your lowest weekly close. Yet last week we came all the way down to it and got a small bounce, but we still closed below your weekly support level. Look what happened this week. We traded right up into that area, which would have been the most fantastic short for this week. Of all of Bitcoin's price action, had you just been watching that level, taking a short right there, you would be able to say that you took the best possible position for the whole weekly range. So, excuse me. Back to what I was saying. We are trading below the weekly low, or that weekly close. The close, that's the support level. You're trading below it. We don't close until tomorrow. These Forex weekly outlooks or crypto weekly outlooks come out on Saturday, because Sunday is the Forex market open, and I like to look at Forex pairs on Sunday as it is the open, even though it's also Bitcoin's close for the week. You are trading below that level, 32,288.56, a weekly closure below there, and you're going lower. All right, you're looking for lower prices. Will you get a bounce? Yes. And guess what? You can get a bounce all the way up to $34,709. And unless you close a weekly candle above that price, you are range bound to down. And that's how simple the strategy is. I care about no news. I care about nothing but price. Price is king, right? There it is. Boom. Nobody would have been able to got a better short position off than had you took that short right there, because that's your entire weekly range. All right. So Bitcoin looks weak. It looks like it's heading lower. Let's get back over here to the daily, as there are a couple daily levels that I want you to pay attention to as well. And we're going to bring up this one right here. And I know what you're saying. Heath, you got a bearish daily close below that level. Why are you not using that one? Well, let me tell you why. It's as simple as this. This bearish close was a bear trap, because as soon as you got the close below support, you had a small push down, and then boom, big bullish candle out of the area with explosiveness. Next day, you came in, tested your daily Heath level right there, that bullish candle, and boom, you went higher, and then you never came back. This was a bear trap. So I put more weight on this close right there, $30,855.95. If you come over here, you can see that that close has thwarted this push lower. This push was almost flawless touching it. Traded lower, but look where you're basing right now. So Bitcoin's been trading for 3 days, been stopped right here at $30,855. Now Bitcoin's going to do basically about the same thing that Forex does. So you're going to see possible support and possible resistance at your big fig numbers. So like 30K even, 35K, 40K, 45K, yada yada, on and on. And the same way for the downside, 25K, then 20, then 15. So big fig numbers. You're going to get people that will want to sometimes take positions on those numbers alone, those prices alone. So right now we got to get below that before you can look for your yearly open test or your yearly low test. As long as you're not closing daily candles below 38.55, you're probably going to look for higher prices. Now there is something that's pretty interesting going on right now. Doge is getting a big strong day. Right here you can see, well, it's cooled off a lot. This thing was up 17% on the day. So are you going to ask me, are you looking for us to be? Absolutely not. If you take a long, just based on the fact that you have had a nice big bullish candle push up, taking out yesterday's high, that's chasing price. What you need to find out is, does price come back in and test yesterday's open, and does yesterday's open hold as support? So you can go into an 8-hour chart. Right here is that open. All right, so watch your 8 hours. You get an 8-hour close below that level, chances are this bounce in price was a selling opportunity. So right now the trend is down. You're not looking to take long positions. I took a long on CAD Yen yesterday and it was against the trend. Everything was against the trend. However, I had specific target in mind, 2-to-1 risk to reward. Most of the risk comes off that way because in a downtrend, bullish price action usually gets sold into. So, and yesterday it got sold into. So I had a profitable trade of 2-to-1, and the trade did not work out after that. Once I took off my profits, it's as if though the market decided to short it all off. So that's what I'm looking for. When you have these pushes up in price, especially in downtrends, you have to look at them and take them with a grain of salt. You can't just be like, oh my God, this is the low, and buy, because it's not. You don't know that it's the low. You have to have higher low support formed first, and then you have to take out this high to basically say, yes, now you have higher low support. Now you have a possible trend change as you have a higher low and a higher high on the daily. And when you get that on the daily, then you have some workable evidence in the charts to slightly say we may be able to look for long positions, targeting small amounts of risk, right? We're not looking to get long down here and looking for $105,000 on Bitcoin. That is just not feasible. If you follow price and price alone, you will stay a lot of the times out of trouble. As over analyzing charts by looking at on all these other things that you can look at out there, there are millions of things. Like it was Wyckoff at the top, then the Wyckoff was, they were looking for a Wyckoff low. Well, where are those people at? They're not posting that chart anymore because it failed. And we were looking for it to fail simply because Bitcoin's putting in lower highs and lower lows on the daily. It's going lower. So let's see what happens here. This is going to be a very important spot, and these two prices down here are supremely important. I already have a limit buy setting at 27,678 if we do get a push down to that level. That is the yearly low. So what I'm essentially looking at is if you go over here, you can see basically that yearly low wick that was put in on the 4th of January. So at the very beginning of the year, most of the stops are going to be resting below that because this spot all the way down here is 25K. So this low is 27,678. So that's a $3,000 stop loss from this point to that point. So if you do get that push lower down to there, you will have also not gotten an exact measure move from this push lower out of your consolidation. However, it will put you in a nice spot to possibly look for a change to happen, at least in the near term. As you can assume, there are a lot of people that will buy the yearly low simply because, well, it's the yearly low. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to buy the yearly high. You want to buy the yearly low. If you're looking to get into Bitcoin, look for the lows. Monthly lows, quarterly lows, yearly lows. Those are places to put on long entries looking for top side in an asset. So moving on, we will be watching these three areas for this week especially. This choppy price action that we've had lately is going to break out. It's either going to break out to the upside and you're going to see a pretty big move, or it's going to break out to the downside. Using all the evidence that we have in front of us right now with the chart and price action, which way do you think that that is more likely to be? All right, just look at price. Can it bounce from here? Absolutely. But Bitcoin isn't showing any strength at all. It's only showing weakness. Since you took out this area of support right here, every single day has opened and closed beneath that level. You are making no attempts to even reach back up to that area of supply to get short again, right? So that's weak. We want to see price go back up into these areas of supply so that way we can take positions if we're looking to get short. I am not looking to get short on this asset nor any down here because you're literally at the lows of this section of price because you can get a big bounce. What's going on Doge is essentially a short squeeze. So many people are short on the asset because it's making lower highs, lower lows. What happens is the sellers get exhausted because professional sellers are not taking short positions down here when there is an obvious support right there. Nobody's getting short in yesterday's price action. What you had yesterday is carry on for whoever got short up here and people exiting positions, rebalancing portfolios. And then look what happens today. A big move straight up to the upside and caught the first area of daily resistance. Didn't get an absolute beautiful test, but you can clearly see where the first area of resistance will be. So also, you don't want to get long ahead of that neither, right? So let's wait and see if you get a midpoint test of this bullish candle on Doge. As long as you're not closing a daily candle, at least below this bearish candle, because if you do get follow through to the upside, a retest of this will make this a demand zone. It will make it a demand level, a Heath level, or a daily order block, or whatever your favorite term is for this thing. So that price is 18,472. Nice test of that. Watch it on a smaller time frame chart. As long as you're not closing 8-hour candles below it, then you can possibly look for price to come right back up here and test the 20686000 level, the 20-cent area. All right, if you want to round it up, it'd be 21 cents from this zone right there. So that can possibly be bullish targets as long as you're not closing below that on the daily. And that's Doge. This was a big move on Doge. This bearish candle right here, you did get your dead cat bounce and you traded up. I would have to assume in this section of price action here, there's at least an 8-hour or 4-hour or hourly bearish candle, and that will be where your short sellers re-engage this asset. And then this is why you have a nice straight down move, making hardly any attempts to even take out supply zones ahead of you. Here is your impulse move to the downside. There's your push up. You get to the wick of that bullish candle, and that's it. When you're only testing the low end of the range, that suggests weakness, a lot of it. Like they're not even allowing it to get up into the candle body. The algos are already programmed to just hit sell when price gets up to the low of that wick, 25,392 or 29. So once price trades up to that level, your bots and algos start firing boom, 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 sell orders. Then you get a cascade of price moving down because the selling is coming in faster and way more aggressive than any buying is. Remember guys, all the bulls, all the Bitcoin bulls, all the crypto bulls, they got their hearts busted on this move lower. That was essentially a 50% move to the downside. That crushes bullish investor sentiment. Any granny and papas that got long up here just lost a ton of their money. They're not going to be so quick to jump into this thing down here. What's going to happen is you're going to have a massive low put in, and that can take weeks to a month to even happen, right? It's not going to happen on a 1-hour candle. It's going to take days and days to find a low. Is this going to be a low on Doge? It may be. And the only reason why is because in most crypto assets, after they've had their bullish run to the upside, they usually fall about 80%. That's not exact, but it's close. That low right there is 78%. So yeah, it's 78% off its total assets value, which will become attractive to some to pick some up. It's a lot cheaper to buy Doge at 20 cents than it is to buy it at 75 cents. The thing about Doge that you have to be aware of, though, is even at 20 cents, it is still up thousands of percents. 5,550% to be exact. As when price was down here before the bullish market started, that was less than a penny. And now you're trading at 20 cents. So you have multiples of upside even from those areas. So just keep an eye on this. This is going to be something everybody's watching, because if you look over here on the watch list, you will see that Doge is up the most on the day. And the thing that everybody's been watching, AXSUSDT, is getting smoked. All right, it's getting crushed again. Or now, finally. It hasn't never gotten smoked. This thing's only been going up. Over here was a nice low test, but then something happened. This has to be looked at as a short squeeze and nothing else. As the whole crypto market, the sentiment is bearish. It's not. I'm not saying that it's a bear market. I'm saying the bullish sentiment is gone, and it was gone ever since that massive drop to the downside. So if you're looking to re-engage with long positions, give it a minute. You got perfect places coming up on Bitcoin to look at those levels to possibly get long again. The yearly low, and I'm gonna tell you right now, $13,881. That would put Bitcoin coming off 80% there too. So if the bear market has commenced, if the bear market is in full steam ahead, we can go over here and get this level real quick. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just bear with me. So you can't even see it on this one. It's right there. So it looks terrible because it's off a log. Right there, right? There's 13,863. It's a different broker, different exchange. So the price will be vary a couple $100. Let's go back into your dailies and see just how far away that is. It's down here, right there. Now, let me show you something else that's just a little bit fun. Nothing more. Do not take this and say it's the end all be all. There is your range expansion to the downside once your lower high was put in on Bitcoin. Boom, straight down, fell 50%, traded sideways for multiple months, and prices heading lower. If you put this at the high of this pullback range right there, where does that put you? That puts you at an exact measured move from this push lower, consolidation, price traded up to there, boom, down there. That's an exact measured move of this price leg. Measured moves don't always work. So I'm just saying that looks like a fantastic spot to buy right there, and I will be doubling up if Bitcoin ever does get down there. I will be buying as much as I possibly can, because that could indeed be the very low if we're in a Bitcoin bear market. You got to find a low somewhere, right? That looks like a good spot. All right, that wasn't supposed to be anything other than that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for price to get down there. However, if we do start trading lower and start heading lower, that's where I'm going to be looking to buy it up as fast as I can, as much of it as I can. Let's go back over here. That AXS, there was another one. Luna, I was watching Luna. Remember, I was telling you guys that it went up 100% off the lows. So if you were going to be looking for short side setups, look for short side setups on Luna, and Comp was the other one because they had big pushes to the upside. Let's get rid of all this stuff as I'm going to show you how this worked out. There is your bullish candle pushing up. There is your high. Bearish candle comes in. There's your close. Boom. Right? There's your push up. You pushed up into that bearish wick. So once again, no bullish candle on the daily. But if you go into a smaller time frame, you might find something, right? Either way, it doesn't matter what I say. It matters what the market says. If the market says that's where it wants to turn around, that's where it's going to turn around. And you did get some downside to it. If you held that position, you looks like you may have found a near-term low, all right? There is your 8-hour support. So as long you did get a close below it. Never mind. Let's go look at a 4-hour. Nope, nothing there. It's a little lower. Let's go here. There we go. So there's your 4-hour support. That's what caught it. There's your 4-hour lowest close. There's your tack of it. Check. Perfect. Now you're heading up. Now, if this is going to continue the near-term trend, they're going to be looking for sell positions. This bullish candle will be your first spot. Then this bullish candle will be your second spot. If it's going to continue lower, these are prices at which I am going to be looking for possible short side entries. 398.45 on this lowest one, and then 411.44 on the highest one. If this trend's going to continue, if Bitcoin is just catching a little bit of wind before it starts to head lower, I'm going to want to look for crypto assets that have moved off from their lows 100% or so, as that gives you a bigger risk to reward. Instead of shorting Bitcoin at the low of the range heading into the yearly low, why not short something that's 100% away from the yearly low? Doesn't always work out, obviously, but that is my plan. So those two levels, once again, 411.44 and 398.45, and then I will get the ones for you on Luna. Luna was another brilliant move. Once it got up in here, pushed out, come down, checked for support or resistance, found it, boom, push to the downside. Here is your lowest stab, taking out this area of support, traded up, came down. So you may be finding a near-term, short-term low. Let's go to a higher time frame chart. Look for these levels on a higher time frame as they hold more weight. I wouldn't even bother with this one because the wick is the low test. This one is right up on it as well. So watch that level first, 683. 8-hour close above that, you're looking higher. Next area of possible support is going to be 776. Either one of these two levels and even up to that bullish candle will be possible areas to watch for price to come into and roll over. Don't just short it as soon as price hits it, because it takes time. Remember, guys, you have plenty of time. You do not have to rush. If you're watching this transpire on a 5-minute chart, you're going to get short, and that's not what you want to do. You want to see multiple tries above it, multiple hours doing it, and then you want to see that retreat away from the level, as then you can get on a smaller time frame chart like an hourly and get the retest of the bullish candle, get short, and aim for your lower areas. That way you will be situated perfect if Bitcoin does decide to roll over and head lower. These assets can be traded on their own merit, but Bitcoin is generally the tide that lifts all boats. All right? So whatever Bitcoin does, so goes the rest of the crypto market. Usually, not always, but usually you will have your outliers like ASX, obviously, and others. All right, so let's go see what chat has to say. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today on this fine Saturday evening? Gym time, Heath. Hey, you got to get those gains, Will. Go get them. Go get them. Yo, what is up? What's up to you, Aaron? Thank you guys for being here. What's up? What's up? Hello, Heath. Glad I caught you on this live this time. Welcome, C. Marie. Welcome. Hello, Janet. Do you see bullish divergence happening again on Bitcoin like in June? Bullish divergence. So for me to do that, I have to go back over to the broken chart. I don't know why it's broken. This one here, maybe if I try to refresh it. Let's refresh it. Let's see what happens. Alright, let's see. Yeah, alright, perfect. It's working again. Give me one moment. No, I want the orange list so I can go over here to Bitcoin. Get off the yearly. You said bullish divergence. Let's get rid of all these lines because there's too many of them now. Do I see bullish divergence like back in June? No. I see a perfect 50 test of the RSI and then price rolled over. Check, 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 boom. That's not bullish divergence. Let me see. So price is making lower highs and lower lows. So you did have a high there. There's a lower high on the oscillator. So here's a high. test. Here is your second high. It's a lower high on price. It is a lower high on the oscillator. Came down, put in another high. It is a lower high on price. It is a lower high on the oscillator. No, this thing looks primed and ready to go to get another oversold reading. It is primed and ready to go. This is basically this. It's a daily RSI, so it takes time to play out. But here is your fake out, your bull trap. You got to trade above that, and then you fell beneath it. 50 test, good shorting opportunity. Shorting opportunity there. Also another good shorting opportunity on that third lower high. And now you're seeing continuation to the downside. So no, I do not see bullish divergence, my friend. I see a perfect RSI reading. And it is trading right now at the 40 mark. So, I mean, oversold on the default is 30, but some people will put their oversolds down to 20. So you may see a different oversold and overbought reading on other YouTubers' channels. It just depends on how they have them set up. I leave it set up as the default because I don't really care about oversold and overbought regions, as I don't look to buy oversold markets, nor do I look to sell overbought markets. That's what retail does. That's not what we do here on this channel. Here we trade like pros. We kill it. That's all we do. We look to kill it. Took 3 out of 4 of my Forex trades last week were golden. 2 losing trades on crypto though. 2 losers this week. Both of them were taken on ALGO. I will go show you that trade right now, real quick, just to get it over with. Where are you at? Oh, that's right. It's on the orange list. Damn it. I need to get this situated a lot better than it is. So here was where I was looking for my short. If you go into the hourly, you will see it happened pretty close to the beginning of the week. Right here. And this price action right there. Once we put in this bearish candle here, I waited for a retest of the bullish candle there, and I got short, and my stop was right above this bearish candle. The first trade I got stopped out on, I didn't get stopped out, I exited the position. So it was still a loss though. So 2 trades, 2 losses in crypto. Have my stop loss setting right above that upon this bull or this bearish test up. That's when I got short. And then yes, it came out, took me out of the trade, like it did many other people, and then boom, that was the entry, right? That was your entry. Had I waited for a test of this bullish candle, then I wouldn't have got in, and I probably wouldn't have got that trade off either. This was nothing other than a run on these stops because price is going lower. This is generating more liquidity, more fuel for the fire to do so, right? So that's why you get these stop runs. You're not going to learn how to become a good trader, and you're still going to get stopped out. It's going to happen, right? I can't see the future, and this is how I trade all the time, and it works out most times than it doesn't. So I took that entry. It was at 2 o'clock in the day, but I don't treat crypto the same way that I treat Forex. But there was the stop run, and it took me out. And like I said, it almost immediately went down, down, down without me. And that's going to happen. That's trading. But no bullish divergence. What's up, Heath? Been trading Solana. Let's go look at it. Ooh, I don't have it anymore. What happened? I thought I had it. Let's go look at it. FTX, Wobi. Yeah, I can't trade it. Let's go look at the daily. I cannot trade it. It's not on KuCoin, Kraken, or Coinbase, so I cannot trade it. This was a stop run as well. This is a daily. Boom. Took out everybody that was short above this wick high, and then instant push lower. However, that wouldn't have been your entry. This bullish day right here would have been. Why would that have been your entry? Because boom, there's your test right there. And then the next day you got a test of that same level. So a short there at 34.2250 was a good one. And you're still running up in profits. The problem is you need to think about taking some of those profits off the table because you are clearly in daily support. Yes, you did get a close below it, but this could be a bear trap if tomorrow you wake up and this thing is trading up at like 30.25 or 30.50 or $32, somewhere in there. This will have been a bear trap because it was a break and it was a close below support, right? So am I looking to take a short entry on this? No, but I will watch it, or I can't short it, but you can watch it. That's going to be the first level that you want to see failure on, at least an 8-hour level, 8-hour time frame. Apologies. So you want to see get 8-hour closure above 29.12. You're not looking for shorts. I don't like shorting into the lows. However, up here to take a short looks a little bit better. Not much, because it's still the lower end of the range. This is all one big price range. Since price took out, once it made an all-time high up here, and then you had your blow off top on this asset. I mean, if that's not a blow off top, I don't know what is. Boom, all the way down. You're trading inside of that range, and it's a massive one, right? It's a massive, massive range. So you're not trading at the low end of that range, and that bearish target still is intact. However, let's see how far that is off the highs, because that's a big, big range, man. So it's 60, 67-ish, 60-ish, 67, 68% to that wick low. So yeah, it looks like the sellers are in full control of this asset. It's coming into support, and this is why you're seeing a possible slowdown. Right? This is why you're seeing a possible bounce. That's your support right there. That bearish close. Yep. What's up? Oh, that's the same one I just read. Thank you very much. What's up? Oh, that's the same one I just read. This thing's glitching out. What's good, bro? Says Cape Cod Headies. What's happening, Cape Cod? Mateo says Heath live. Whoop, whoop. Yes, sir. We are doing it. KF, hello, Master Heat. Thank you for being wonderful and teaching us a lot. I like your style much better than Jordan because you truly go for the price. Can you look at SNXUSDT on KuCoin? Yes, that was the other one right there. Thank you for bringing it up. SNXUSDT. I still can't trade this one either. Not in the Futures Pro platform. You can trade it in the margin platform probably. I'm out of drink. Here's your support right there. This is 8-hour. Let's go to the daily. The higher time frames, guys, they put more weight on those closes, right? Your daily closes. Those are the ones you want to watch mostly. Thank you, baby. I feel like a butthead now. I said I'm out of drink. My baby comes and hooks me up. I love you. So here's your support level right there. 961. There's your bearish close below it. There's a retest of it, and it found more resistance up there. This wick low right there, if you would have went into a smaller time frame chart like an hourly, you might see the bearish candle that caught this push higher. All right, so on the daily it looks like it just tested the wick and went lower. There could be a bearish candle on the 1 hour that you may be able to find. That's a strong close below support. It's a weak close, obviously, but you know what I'm saying. That's a big push lower, right? Major area. So this is probably your topping formation. All right. Now, with that being said, you can trade all the way back up to this bullish candle at $11.06, as that would stop out anybody short on these 3 days here, and you may be able to find an area of resistance right there. If it struggles to get above that on a daily closing or an 8-hour closing basis, you might be looking lower for another range expansion to the downside. As what looks like a 4-day move to the downside, it's nothing more than a weekly range expansion, right? So when I'm looking at the daily candles in the back of my mind, I also see the weekly. I see how the daily candles are closing, and I see what shape the weekly candle is probably taking. You see what I'm saying? That's how I adjust or take my positions. I look for daily range expansions for my shorter term trades, but I'm constantly loving to try to find that weekly high. Because if you can find that weekly high, boom, you're going to be in a nice, fantastic trade that takes and spans basically a whole week. So, and that's way up there, right? And you're anything above this weekly close down here, though, man, you're still in decent shape on the longer term, right? So this was your push lower. There was support found. Next couple weeks of price action was straight bullish, trading out of that area. So this is your first attempt down there, which is why you also got that bounce. It also kind of coincides with that daily support level. Well, not really. It's all the way down here. So this is why you're finding support here now, because that's your weekly, right? If this is going to continue to be bullish, it needs to do it from here. So would I short that? Yeah, I still would, because it doesn't look like anything to me on the weekly. I would love to see a weekly close below the open of this week, though, because that would just basically tell me, yeah, you're probably going to get a pullback to that level, and that would be a good spot to look. If you don't close below there, if this candle ends up closing up higher, then chill on your shorts. Chill out on your shorts, because something is definitely different from this asset and other cryptos. As that weekly looks good, don't it? I mean, it looks bullish still to me, the weekly. Probably use this low like that, do something like that. Boom, it's still bullish on the weekly. A lot of people, what I've learned, they have a really small time frame, right? They're looking for tomorrow and the next day and what's Bitcoin gonna do 5 minutes from now. If you take a bigger look out, it gives you a lot better of a view, right? So taking a short down here, hell no. Taking a short up here, possibly, right? Definitely want to see that close below first, like today or tomorrow. It doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Not today. It can, but it doesn't look like it. Then that's the only price to watch, in my opinion, for shorts. And if you get that 8-hour close above, you are scrapping that trade. What's up, Heath? Love the thumbnail. Yeah, it was a little clickbaity. But everyone else does it. That's kind of bad to say. Sorry. I should be more responsible and mature. Heath, you need to put together a training class. Any of your channel playlists applicable to crypto? Yes, sir, Mickey Rat. Price action is price action. What I teach applies to crypto, forex, stocks, everything. And no, I'm not going to sell courses, my friend. There are too many YouTubers out there that aren't traders that sell courses. So I'm going to be the real trader out there that don't sell courses. See how that works? Yeah. Anyways, that's enough on that. No, you can learn everything you need to learn just off the videos, my friend, because I don't hold back. I do not hold back. I tell you everything I know on all the videos. And they're very repetitive. My friend just told me yesterday. It's to help you guys learn. That's why I'm really repetitive. Heath, can you check out XRP? Absolutely. Let's go look at the Ripple. See what it's been doing. It's still illegal to trade in the US on Coinbase. I think they delisted it even. That's not Finex. I don't like Finex. Finex, ugh. Let's go look at oh, can't do that either. Let's go look at it versus Kraken, or on Kraken's exchange. Yeah, it's putting in that slumpy, droopy pattern, man. That slumpy, droopy pattern where you go up, you make a high, essentially just find resistance, and then you trade away from the resistance. As most of the shorts are probably drying out, I mean, it still can go down a lot further, right? A lot further, actually. You can go all the way down to there. But this has been moving down now for several months. April the 14th. This is July. So 3 months straight down. So you may get a bounce from here, you may not. Your support level, current support level that isn't broken, is all the way down there. This was support until it was broken. then it became support until it was broken, and so on and so forth. So bearish candles are always support until broken. So your main support is 54,636. This push lower here, is it just a stop run? Yep, possibly is, because there's your bearish target. You can see it with the bears were reaching for that target a few days ago, but they did not hit it. So retail traders look at this as buying pressure. Why? Well, that's because the YouTubers that they're learning from teaches them this is buying pressure. When you have a candle that pushes down and then closes as a doji with a long wick, that indicates that bulls are buying it. No, it doesn't. It indicates that shorts are taking off their positions. This is a pullback on a smaller time frame. And then what happened the very next day? Boom, shorts re-engage their positions. Here is your test of your daily Heath level right there. That is your short entry. Boom, target hit. Now, people like me, the real traders, are taking profits ahead of this level. So you get a little bit of follow through and this retracement as the profits are getting taken. Short sellers, at least big funds, hedge funds, anybody that's rich, they're not going to look to get short down here. So you could possibly see a bounce coming out of this area, and that bounce is probably going to take you back up to there, 61,870. It may and it may not. Watch this bearish candle instead, as that was your lowest close, right? And you've only tested it once. So you may find resistance there. I wouldn't be looking for fresh shorts now. That was the target. That target was hit. If it trades up in the next few days and finds resistance again, then yeah, I'd probably be looking for shorts again, and I'd be targeting all the way down here to this level, as that's your next level of support. That's the next target for the bears, if the bears are still interested in this thing. And they probably will be. I mean, if you've been trading crypto for any amount of time, you know basically that they don't stop. Once they get in control of these assets, they generally will stay in control as long as they can. So this is your weekly chart here. Look what they did on this bullish push. They stayed on this thing for a year. December 25th, 2017, that was, or January was your high. 2018, 2020 was your low. So 2 years, poof, basically straight down. And is this, yeah. So weekly, you're still looking good. On the weekly, you're still holding above major areas of old resistance, possible new support right there. So watch that price for your weekly close. 59,259. If you get a weekly close below that level, probably coming down to here, around 46 cents. Probably not next week, but eventually, right? Because you do have pullbacks on weeklies too. There's your bullish pullback there. But yeah, this is going to be the line in the sand. XRP needs to close above 59,259 on a weekly basis tomorrow. Otherwise, you can look for lower prices. It just glitched out on me again. Let me go back up. Oh, I think I'm up too far. Yeah, I'm up too far. That's where I was, right there. M Content got on BKEX exchange for first day, coming on BitMart soon. Beta app is already live on the Google Play Store. Really? I appreciate that. Alright. Glad to see you on, says Greg T. Thank you for being here, my friend. Wow, that will be brutal. Yep. It doesn't look good. Heath, can you please look at S&P and the NASDAQ? Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Them things are just ripping faces. Here's the S&P 500. This is basically the 24-hour market, the CFD market. We can't trade this in America, but I use it to chart. It looks exactly like the regular SPX, but without the gaps. If you're new to the channel, welcome, but I don't like gaps. It makes it more difficult to chart these things when you have gaps. And a gap in price isn't anything. It just, a gap in price occurs when a market closes and reopens, because most markets are 24 hours traded. So here it is. This is your weekly. Ever since the untold virus of unknown origin came in from that March sell-off, which was brutal and fantastic at the same time, because we made a lot of money on that, you've been going straight up. This is the U.S. government getting behind the markets, trying to stop the bloodshed, and boom, you've just been going straight up. Now, people are calling the top up here. Why? Well, there's bearish divergence all the way back to last year, they're going to say. All right? There's probably bearish divergence all the way back to 2018, if you want to look at it that way. However, I don't. It's just an oscillator. It's not the end-all, be-all. Price is moving higher. You're getting a small pullback. What was that? Was it Friday that you had that pullback? Yeah, Friday and Thursday. So it's, man, it's up there. It's so far. Like, I wouldn't be doing anything on this but day trading it. Like, I wouldn't be buying new hodl positions on the SPX up here. We need like a 20% pullback on these things, man, to get them to cool off a bit. It's insane. If you would have just bought down there in March, basically made a ton of money. You doubled, tripled, quadrupled your investment. And to do that on the S&P 500 in the span of a year, that's saying something. 2 years? This thing generally averages 8 to 12% on a yearly basis. So there's daily support, 43.21.20 daily support. It's coming into it now. Will it hold? We never know. So what you can do is, if you're looking for buys, if you see an 8-hour candle close below that, you're no longer looking for purchases, right? You're going to let it trade down to the next area of bearishness, which will probably act as some kind of resistance or support. So 8-hour closure below 43.21, you are waiting for a test of 42.54, and at that point you will then again wait to see if price is unable to close below that. If it is, yeah, you look to buy it, right? When are we no longer bullish on the S&P 500? 20% drop, and then 2 months of it being under that 20% drop. We're looking for shorts as their bear market has commenced. The bear market rules are basically for this asset. 20% off the highs, more than 2 months. You can't really apply that to Bitcoin. It's a different asset. But it does apply to this one. 20% off the highs for more than a couple months. You're in a bear market. But there's no need to get bearish now. Every single dip has been bought on this thing. Some of those dips lasted multiple days. Some a couple weeks even. This one was a couple weeks. But ultimately, it gets bought up. So, yeah, it's at the highs. I don't like doing anything at the highs, whether it's a short or a long. But there was your perfect flawless entry Friday. Boom, right up into your daily ETH level. Right there was your resistance. Daily resistance. Look at that flawless test. Like, almost beautiful. All right. Traded right up there, and boom. That's when the bots and algos said, sell, 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 sell. So that's all I look for in these charts. This is why I don't care about news or anything else. I've been studying candles long enough to know that they hold all you need to be successful in this game. In the NASDAQ, I'm pretty sure it looks pretty close to that. I don't know what the CFD is for the NASDAQ, but what I do know is I have it somewhere. Let's go into my Forex. There's NQ1. This is the futures. Yeah, it looks exactly the same as the S&P 500. That tech rally, man, that tech rally is what got everything going. Remember the tech sell-off? Well, here's your tech rally. Boom. People are buying up tech because they're afraid that the dollar is being devalued. It's too bullish to buy it, in my opinion. You already got a daily closure below your first area of support on the NASDAQ right there. All right? So any trade up, even though it has already been tested, any trade up to there will be looked at as a shorting opportunity simply because you got that. But I'm not calling a top, and I'm not saying that you should do that. I'm just simply saying that others will be, because you did close below support. Your next area of support is down here. If I can get it on there, 1450 or 558, 14558. This area has already been tested, so I would go lower. I like this area right there. It's a beautiful spot. 14365, 75. Maybe you hold right there, my friend. So let it pull back down to there. How far is that off the highs? Probably about 5%. It is roughly 4.21%. Yeah, as long as it's holding there on a daily or 8-hour basis, that's where I'd look to get long. That's where I'd look to get long. Close below that, you're not looking for longs. You're letting it digest. But this is not bearish price action either. Okay? If you just need to remember what bearish price action looks like, just come right over here and look. That's bearish. And this is absolutely bearish. Look at that. You didn't even close the gap. You were so bearish. Just boom, 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 blah, blah. Yeah, that's bearish. When you see stuff like that, when it's like a waterfall just straight down, that's bearish. And if it does become bearish, guys, this channel is going to be shorting it. ETHUSD, let's go take a look at it, my friend. As I'm a trader, so I love to get in those beautiful positions. Yeah, ETH looks, it's at the lows. It's exactly the same as Bitcoin. Exactly the same. There is your daily support, and it's going to be daily support until you get below it on a daily closing basis. That level is 1809 spot 07. Right there is still going to act as resistance until you get a daily closure above that. That level is 2110. So as long as you're trading below this and above this, you're in a range. Right? I don't look to take shorts if you get a daily closure below that neither. I'm just saying that is where your support is. So if you're in any short positions, it's a good idea to take profits ahead of that, because you may stutter step here. You may find some buyers, or at the very least, you will see a bounce from short positions being closed. Any thoughts on BTC liquidity right now as a trader? Less than 7% coin still liquid on exchanges, supposedly. Yeah, there's no problem with liquidity, my friend. None at all. If you got $50,000 worth of Bitcoin and you want to get that cash right now, you can be as simple as that. There's plenty of liquidity in Bitcoin to fill positions. Right? Plenty. If you've got billions of dollars into Bitcoin, then that 7% may affect you being able to get out of a position. But for lowly retail, there's tons of liquidity in Bitcoin. Plenty of it. OXT. Oh, wait. Did I just miss? No. Okay. Yeah. Those are your only two levels on Ethereum. So, OXT, USD. Oh, I forgot the T. Coinbase. Came into daily support down here, and you got your daily close below it, but that was a lot of bearishness coming into that area, so you got followed through a little bit. There's your daily close below it. So, what we do, how we do it, boom, right there is going to be a spot to watch for possible short side entries. Daily or an 8-hour close above 30 cents, you are no longer looking for short entries. As long as you cannot close below that or above that, you may be looking for short side setups. Here is daily support right there. I forgot to bring my line with me. Excuse me. There's a close below it. All right. So if you get all the way up to this level in one day, then you're not looking to short that. This is a good thing. I'm glad I remembered to say this, because some newer traders are having trouble with this. They look at those levels and they're like, well, that's a level you would take a position at, right? Yeah, it depends on how fast price is coming into that level. If price is coming into that level fast, then no, you're not looking to take that short, right? Same with longs. If you were looking to get long here, because that would be a valid area, that's a valid demand zone to look to get long. You don't just buy it because price is coming in hot. And when price is coming in hot, just picture a plane going through the roof of a house. The roof is probably not going to cause the plane to bounce, is it? No. So yeah, if it's coming in hot, don't look to buy or sell those levels. Give price a chance to chill out a bit, a day or two, and then look for your entries. But right now, yeah, that's support or was support. It's broken. There's nothing to do on it. Nothing. There's no position to take because you just got the close below and you've already came up and retested. You didn't test the midpoint though, so you could probably see price trade up. All right? This is the thing. When you get that first close below support, chances are you're going to see a bounce of some sort, at least up to your last daily low or the last daily close. So I always remain vigilant. I'm not looking to get short right now. Not a breakout trader. All right, that is considered a breakdown, but not a good one as it just barely closed below. So just give it a day or two. Let it trade back up to here. And if it slowly trades back up to there, yeah, I'd like that. Be a good spot to look for short side sets. Heath, if we set a buy order at Bitcoin's yearly low because there is a ton of buys. I don't know that there's a ton of buys there, Mark Martin. I'm assuming there are. But with that being said, because there's a ton of buys, there is still a chance of Bitcoin price going down to 20K, 18K. How would you calculate the risk to reward on this? Well, I'm not buying it for a trade. I'm buying it just to buy Bitcoin. The first thing is I've got a buy limit setting down there at the yearly low because it's a good spot to buy Bitcoin. It's the yearly low, but it's only spot, right? So essentially you're basically averaging in, and that's not really a good strategy ever to do, ever. If you're using leverage or something like that, or using a lot of money, because eventually you may run out of money and you won't be able to enter the position. But if you're only buying spot for accumulation, oh, remember my time frame on Bitcoin is 10 to 15 years out. So I buy every red week. It doesn't matter where it is. If it closes red, I buy a piece. So I'm not really looking at it as a risk to reward perspective, other than I am willing to risk every cent that I have in Bitcoin right now. Every penny. If Bitcoin were to crash tomorrow and go to zero, yes, it would hurt. Yes, I lost just a lot of money. However, I can still function on day-to-day tasks. I will still be able to trade FX and still buy groceries and yada yada. So I'm using it with a small percentage of my overall wealth or money or whatever. So that's how I'm using it as a risk to reward. Now, if we get down to 13,891, I'm going to buy heavy there. Heavy. A lot heavier than I have been buying. So, because there's a possibility that it may be the low for an upcoming, if there's an upcoming bear market. Remember, guys, there's a lot of evidence to suggest this may be mid-cycle of a longer-term bullish trend. I don't trade like that. I don't invest like that. But there's a lot of people that do. So if they're right, yay. If they're not, yay, because I get to buy more Bitcoins. So I hope that helps answer your question, Mark. Hi Heath, where CD you short Jet2 or LSE thinks? I'm not exactly sure where CDU short Jet2. If you're asking me where to short it, that's financial advice and I can't really give it to you. However, I will go look. Is this what you're talking about? I don't even know what that is. It's on the London Stock Exchange, so obviously I don't trade it. And you're asking me where could you short it? Well, this thing remains the same as all of these videos. They're not financial advice. They're just decent levels to watch. So that was support. This bearish candle was support until you got this push lower here. And then you traded up into resistance, and that's where you failed. So this level right here stands out to me. However, that level has already been testing. So if price trades up back up to there, watch that. Don't just short there. Make sure you close dailies below it or 8-hour candles below it. You do not multiple, right? You don't just short it next day. Possibly you may have an entry then, but not on the first initial attempt. Also, this thing is crazy. Like, it's been range bound for a long time, so I would say you're safe in taking a short position. What the? Oh my gosh, this thing got annihilated when the SPX got annihilated too. I'm just interested in something. Oh my god, this thing came off 90%. What is this? Be careful, man. This trades like a crypto. Yeah, that's the first level that I would watch. Make sure you're unable to close higher time frame candles above it before you look for any entries, and make sure you do not short it with more than 1% risk of your portfolio, as that would just be gambling if you short with more. And LSE, what is LSE? Another asset I have no clue. No, I don't even know where to get this. This is a mining operation, I guess, but I don't know what it mines. Bitcoin, I don't know. I'll just, yeah, there's nothing. Stay away from that. There's no liquidity. Those are daily. Stay away from that one too. Let me make sure. LSE, yeah, that one's worse. Capital.com. Here you go. This is probably what you're looking at. Capital.com. That's a broker over there in London, I think. This was a big move to the downside. However, you have just barely. There's a higher high, right? And as long as you don't close below this, you got a higher low right there. That's the area to watch. 73.94. If you get a push down to there, that's your ultimate support. You may have already found it. All right, here, that one's better. That's your Heath level right there. And Friday or Thursday, you tested it beautifully. Friday, you closed as a gravestone doji candle thingy, right? It just looks like a cross. This means you try to go up, try to go down. It's an inside candle. So basically, you're watching for either the high or low of Thursday's candle to get taken out, and you're at support. So you're not looking for shorts. I wouldn't necessarily be looking for buys either, unless you have multiple attempts down here and you can't close below there. If it holds, look long, because that's a higher low support. Ultimately, this will be your support level, 73.97. This bearish candle's closed right there. 73.90. You go lower than that, you're heading lower. Heath, do you have a schedule when you go live? Adrian Bryan, yes. I go live Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time before the New York Open, as I generally try to get positions or look for trades for people or myself. So I do those two every single time at 5:30 a.m. And Sunday's live stream as well is at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right at the FX market open, the Forex open. The Saturday streams, the Crypto Weekly Outlooks, they basically just come out whenever my internet gives me good enough signal. So that can be anytime, really, unfortunately. Thanks for the email. Those good Heath levels are God sent? No, my friend, they are Heath sent. It feels like the thing I've been missing. It's the thing everybody's missing, my friend. It's as simple as that. People just don't understand how simplistic it can be and how effective it is. And that's okay. The less people know, the better I feel about it, because I'm killing it. Wait a minute. Something just happened. Oh. My goodness. How is it saying that I deleted those messages? Oh, that's why, because I'm all the way up there. Sorry, guys. The chat glitched out on me, and I have no clue where I just was. Okay, there it was. And then Narwhal Tacos. Yeah, it's today's stream. It's the Saturday stream that doesn't have a set time, unfortunately. Maybe next time what I'll do is I'll just like premiere it or something. I'll set a time that it's going to come out an hour before it comes out or something. Click the like button or click the bell button for alerts. Yep. I suggest you do that, otherwise you will not get alerted when I go live. Hello Heath, could you please look at DXY chart? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're watching it right now. It's at a critical area. It looks like it's trying to break out. However, it is bearish in the longer run, like the longer term, but you got to go with what near-term price is saying. Near-term price is saying that it is bullish for now. It is putting in a pattern that some people like to call an ascending wedge. So that is typically looked at with bearish implications, right? Whether or not it does do that are two different things. But these patterns are typically, and it's basically the same thing that Bitcoin's doing right now. And I know people don't like hearing me say that Bitcoin is tied to the dollar. It trades against the dollar, right? So it generally will do it's not 100 1-to-1, right? If the dollar goes up, Bitcoin goes down. It's not like that. But here's 2021's low right there, and then boom, traded up, came back into it, traded up. So you've been trading up, sideways to up since 2021, and then Bitcoin's been trading down to sideways, right? Since January 2021. So I mean, it's got something to do with it. But we shall see. All right. The level that I'm looking at, I don't trade like that. I trade on horizontal levels basically only, but I will show people those things when they're out there. So this was your last support before you broke down and you never retested it. So this is what's finding resistance as of right now. If you look at Thursday and Friday's price action, it looks like it's trying to break it. All right. So I'm not looking to go short here, even though it looks like it's rejecting it. And it's been rejecting it for a week or two. Be very careful, because at least you could get a stab all the way up to 93.079 before it returns around and goes back down, if it even is going to turn around and go back down. When you were trading down here, this was your quarterly open range. I go show you real quick. All right, so here's your quarterly open range. This was where you became bullish in January the 1st, 2021. There's your bullish move to the upside. Next quarter, you simply came back in and retested the opening range, the open of that 3-month candle, your quarterly candle. So here was your test. So is this buying pressure? Nope. It could be a retest on a smaller time frame. This candle still closed red on the quarter. Now, I'm looking to see if it gets a bust up out of there. There's your quarterly resistance level. So you've got a lot of resistance setting right above you, okay? So at the very least, you could trade all the way up to there and then look lower possibly, but support held there for multiple quarters. So I'm looking probably a little bit higher on the DXY in the near term. I'd say at the very least, it's in a very, very precarious area, right? There's a lot of liquidity setting above that, so it could be reaching for that before it tries to go lower. So we'll keep an eye on it. I'm not looking for this to go lower right here, right now. Not yet. Looks like it's trying to go a little bit higher. And that's all I can say on it, really. Watch 93.232 and 92.738, as there was your daily close above that level, but this thing trades with gaps as well. So gaps do affect your closes on these assets a little bit. Not really though, because the very next day you traded back down, but you're back into it. So I'm looking for it to break eventually, or at least trade up to take out that wick high. That is my bullish target right there. And then you've got support right there, 92.929. So boom, that's your next area of resistance. And that would be we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But it looks like it's trying to go higher. VET Weekly got you. VET Weekly. VeChain, right? Or is VE chain? Or is it just VETUSD? Weekly and specifically. We have to look at Finex. Let's get rid of all of these old levels. Yeah, you're losing weekly support as well. This thing has weekly support all the way up to 7 cents. Alright, that's your weekly support level on this thing. And you're trading well below it. So this thing would have to get real bullish real quick in order to close above your prior support level, which would be this candle. Sorry, this candle is slightly closed lower than that one, so that's your resistance. So, I mean, there's bearish targets right there. So that, to me, looks like what price is reaching for. So technically, you could trade all the way back to there and come back down to there. This looks like the target. Once the target gets taken out, then it's anybody's guess where this thing goes. This is your last bullish close, so that may offer up some semblance of support when you get down there. But these are what it's looking for. So how I would do that is I'd simply go on the daily and mark out my daily levels to look for possible entries. Short, targeting that wick low. And then it's just, you got a bearish candle right under you, so that's going to be, well, just use the bullish close. This thing is so crazy that it trades 24/7, and yet it's gaps everywhere. Gaps. You don't physically see them if you're a rookie. I see them. This thing closed here. That's where it should have opened. It shouldn't have opened lower, but it did. It gapped down, opened, and it trades 24/7. That means there's not much liquidity in it. Not much. Yeah, there's no liquidity in this thing. That's your hourly, bro. There's no liquidity in this. So, yeah. I wouldn't be looking to do anything here. I would be watching 7 cents for a possible short entry targeting 6 cents. And that's all I can say on it. 10-4, I appreciate it. Need to get on the live sessions more often. What's up, he says Jay Green. What's happening, Jay Green? Bitcoin to $15,000. The bears are here. Liquidate all the long. Sell. Bitcoin, dump it, says Hash Brown. Yeah. I mean, the bears are in control. That's for sure. I'm not looking for Bitcoin to go down at $13,000. Right? I am looking for Bitcoin to hold support around the yearly open or the yearly low. However, that level will be the level at which I become a massive buyer if Bitcoin gets down there. Gaps in charts are so 2010. I agree with you, Narwhal Tacos. Heath, you can definitely trade Solana on KuCoin. Not on the futures. Maybe. Let me see. Give me a second. I will verify that for you right now. Pulling it up. I type in the tickers, SOL. Oh, look at that. SOL perpetual swap. It says it's at $27. So let's go look at Solana again. USD. Where is it? Yeah, I don't even see it. KuCoin here, my friend. Let's see where it's at. Yeah, it is Solana. It's just SOL on. And yes, let me see. Yes, it does look like I can trade it on futures. If I pull up that Sol perpetual swap contract right there. It just says Sol. It doesn't say Solana. But it's at the same price, $27, and the daily looks pretty close to. No, it doesn't look anything like that. I don't know. Doesn't look anything. Oh, it's because I'm on the weekly. Yes, that's the same thing. You're right. Sol USD or Sol, and then it finds it. KuCoin Futures. Thank you for telling me that. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you so much. I learned something today. I appreciate you, Tony. And then you proceeded to tell me right under that comment. That's KuCoin. Thank you, Tony. You the man. I appreciate it. What do you think about oil? I think oil is what's calling a US or Aussie yen to go lower. Look at this fantasticness. This is what I'm talking about, peoples. Boom. See ya. Lower close below support. Bears are in control. Look at Friday. All you did was tested your old support level. Turned it into resistance and closed right on the day. It looks like it's trying to break this support zone at $71-ish right there. Right there. 71.05. Need a daily closure below that. There are plenty of bearish candles in this trend to look for possible bullish entries. There is a ton of demand for oil still, guys. Still, unfortunately. Yes, Tesla is a company, but it has a very, very small market share overall. Gas and diesel and all that stuff is still in very high demand. And it's not me saying it, it's the chart. Look at that strong bullish trend. So you're having a pullback. You have put in a lower high and a lower low. So you may potentially have a trend reversal on your hands on oil. So right now, I'm looking for short side entries on it until we get a daily closure above this bullish candle right there at 74.17. Daily closure above that, then I'm no longer looking for bearish entries. As long as we are trading below 74.17, I am looking for bearish entries. Aussie yen is still the only position I hold short. I screwed up accidentally and took myself out of the pound yen trade yesterday, and I was so disgusted at the fact that that happened because it was an absolute accident. But I entered on one of these pushes. Let me go into the 8 hour and I can tell you exactly where I entered. Never mind, I can't tell you exactly. It was here, I think. But yeah, it's a fantastic short, and I'd still be in it had I not screwed that one up. But I mean, it was fantastic short. It wasn't that. It was. I don't remember where it was, to be honest with you. The arrow's gone. Would have had to be here. I could pull it up, but no one's asked for me to do so. But I'm still short in Aussie yen also. This thing is just paying me. It's a fantastic trade. Fantastic trade. And it looks like it's going lower. Loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Yeah, I'm short up in here. This bullish candle here, I think, or this one. This wick or this wick, I know. I can't do it for sure because I didn't mark it out, but that's the only trade I currently have on, period, is that Aussie yen short. Second short, second WTI short energy. WTI is oil. WTI and US oil are the exact same asset. If you have a WTI ticker, that marks something different. But most of what I know, WTI is the same chart as the US oil. See, US oil is WTI crude oil. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. But yeah, we're looking for short entries on it. Hey guys, coming in at 10:30 GMT. Welcome, Run DMC 555. Welcome, my friend. Who is this? Says Chody Doinks. You know who this is. Who this? Give me basics. Message retracted. Well, you didn't have to do that. Red Bull. Oh, done got yourself deleted, my friend. What exchange do you trade on? Vincent Mark. All right, so that question has to be a little bit more specific. I trade on Thinkorswim for US stocks and options. I trade on Oanda for FX as well as Forex.com. And for cryptos, I currently trade on Coinbase, Kraken, and KuCoin. And that's all of the exchanges that I trade on currently. How come BTC keeps trading down when the fear index is so high? I mean, who is selling? When is there supposed to be only a few sellers? Okay, so first and foremost, Kimmy Basics. I understand your disdain towards Bitcoin sellers right now, and I can tell you from experience, there's not a whole lot of people looking for short side setups on Bitcoin, not where it currently is. So I would only have to assume that it's either still going lower because the short side still outweighs the buy side. That's one thing. Second thing is it's still up hundreds and hundreds of percents from the lows of 2020 down here, right? So there is still a lot of meat on that bone, 722% to short it if you think Bitcoin can go back down to there. I do not. I think Bitcoin will find support if it becomes a bear market at around 13,000 bucks. It's just a theory, right? It's untested, unproven, but I just wanted to come out there and say it before anybody else does. That way this video will be referred to in a year or two if that ever happens. People will be able to look, he called us stuff way back when. Yeah, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I just keep buying it. Buy small portions of it. That way, when it's worth $1,500,000 in 10 years, I'll sell out then and then go buy an actual island. Do you leverage trade? Yes, Vincent Mark. I leverage trade on stocks, options, and Forex and crypto. I do not buy Bitcoin with leverage, and I do not have any leverage on my Ethereum spot long positions. No. I do leverage trade on KuCoin futures. I did leverage trade on Kraken, but nobody leverage trades on that platform anymore. VETUSD at Binance looks like it's going to 1 cent. Let's go look at it. I just looked at it, I think, but I'll go look at it again as got nothing else to do. 1 cent is all the way down to here. So, I ask you, my friend, just being real, not lashing out, just being honest and real, what makes you think that this is going to 1 cent? Because it's been bearish from here? Because technically, this thing is still bullish. Yeah, on the daily, you're still trading well above your ICO price. And for the last, well, let's go ahead and say, since you put in that low March 14th, 2020, you've been going only in one direction on this. It's bullish. The overall trend on this asset is bullish. Is it having a slight pullback? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Absolutely it is. 1 cent though, hey, I like it. Look, I just randomly put it there and it did hold as resistance here, a little bit of support there, little support there, but you've got to go through many other support levels, many of them, before you're ever going to see 1 cent, ever. So, yeah, it may, but if it does, it's going to take a long time to get there. If it does just come out and boof, bearish candle down in there, then something's wrong. Like whoever made VeChain just sold all of their coins because the owners of these companies, and yes, make no mistake, they are companies, guys. Even though it's traded versus USDT, which is Tether, VeChain is a company. Polkadot is a company. Ethereum is a company. The only one that isn't is Bitcoin. The rest of them are companies. So they're stocks, essentially. It's a crypto coin, but it's a stock, is all it is. Where was that at? Because I just lost a comment. There it is. All right, thank you. It could go there. I'm not picking on you, Neith, because Kumar. I'm just going to call you Kumar for short because I can't really say it. Neith East Kumar. Neith is Kumar. You are my boy, and I'm so glad that you're always here. I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying don't take a short based on that info, please, because the way we trade here, it's a good way to trade. You find an area to look for a possible short side setup. 8 cents is what we're going to look for right now. Well, no, actually, first we'll watch this level. 7 cents. If you fail to close the daily above that, then you can look to get short, and maybe it does go down to 1 cent. That would be a fantastic trade. Almost 100% gain. That's it. Great buy right there. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Vincent. Oh, do you leverage trade and then that? So Heath, are you actually holding any stocks long term? I like Tesla. I got a little Apple. I mean, your basics, right? Amazon, all the tech ones, the big ones, the big names. I hold a few shares. Yeah, absolutely. Checking out. Thank you, Heath. Have a good one, Mickey Rat. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Thanks. The content here is very informative and useful. Thank you, Kimmy Basics, for being here. Need the labels on the charts. Hard to see. Okay. Where? Which one? Oh, I don't even have them. Thank you, Sean. I've done the whole stream and they're not even on there. My apologies, my friend. I was having a bit of technical difficulties when I started up, so there it is. Apologies, my friend. Weekly is bearish, 108 cent in a few next months. Oh, okay, cool. Can you look at sushi? I love sushi, but not the crypto. I've never traded it, so I'm not sure. Do you want USD on FTX? Or, yeah, let's do that, because it's the dollar pairing. Big strong day on it. Yeah, see, you're coming into daily support. This is why we don't short, right? There you are, right there. There's your support level. That's where you're taking profits. If you were short from up here, you're taking profits there. Getting a big day. Big day. Look at that. You're taking out 2 days worth of price action. You didn't take out that high yet, so give it some time. Give it some time. There's a couple cryptocurrencies that are off the chain today. So at the peak, you had a 17% day. Like Doge. Let's see where Doge is now. Doge is already all the way down to 8%. So Doge went up to 16% and is back down to 8%. But like I said, it can test all the way down to there. As long as it holds there, then you might see another day or two of a bounce. Right? There you are. Checking the midpoint right now. I'd say you can get a wick down to there even. Right there. So this is what I'm looking at, right? I'm a very risky trader, guys. I'm not risk averse. I am riskier than anybody out there. Most people, in fact, because I'm an intraday trader, so I don't care to take positions as long as it's a valid setup in both directions. I can be short tomorrow, long today, right? So this thing right here, we're going to watch it. 18 cents. If we're unable to close a 4-hour candle below that, we're going to possibly look to take a long position, just at least up to the closing price of that bullish candle. That would be your first profit target. And if you get down here, like say on an hourly, and start forming a rounding bottom on an hourly, that even gives you somewhere to place your risk. So that makes the trade worth it. Lose 1% to possibly make, I don't know, depending on how tight your stop is, that could be 10% up to that. So we'll see. I'm not really dying to jump into a new trade, but let's watch it. We'll watch it together. But it's got to get down there. I don't like it up here. All right? It's got to get down there. Let's throw a fib on it. Throw a fib on it. I think Beyonce needs to make a song, throw a fib on it. There's your 618 right there. Right there. So let's put a level there just to watch it. If you on it, then throw a fib on it. If you throw a fib on it. All right, there you go. There's your 618. Make a little note in the side over here so that way we know. 618. Sorry, that's not the one. That's the one right there. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. 4-hour resistance, 18 cents. This is a big explosive move. All right. It can absolutely be a massive short covering, though. That's all it can be. If you start to get closes, a 4-hour close below that 618, you're leaving it alone. And you're only targeting that close. That's it. That's it. You're not looking for more. You're not looking for 1,000,000% return. You're looking for that because that's your next area of resistance. So if price finds support, boom, that's your target. All right, guys, I've been going for an hour, 35 minutes. If you got any questions, get them in. Weekly bearish, can you look at sushi? Yeah, we looked at sushi, and Janet Swift says, thank you, Heath. Thank you, Janet. Thank you all for being here. Just gonna scroll back through just to make sure that I did not forget anybody, as this is the first time I ran out of questions. And thank you all moderators. I always forget to do that, and that's pathetic. I really absolutely should never forget to do that. Also, thank you all channel members and Patreons. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me. And mods, obviously, you guys do a killer job. Look at them taking out all those bad guys that want to just come in here and spam their garbage. Thank all of you. I'll give you guys a second just to put in any last minute questions, as I am about to kick it off, but I am looking through to make sure I did not forget any major important questions. And I don't see any. All right, guys. So, yeah, we're going to keep an eye on this Doge trade just to see what happens here. Maybe I take it, maybe I don't. If I will let you know tomorrow at the FX Weekly Outlook. That live stream will come on at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as long as my internet permits me to do so. So if nobody else has any questions, I will see you guys then. Make sure you trade safe, trade smart, and happy trading, everybody.